Hey everyone, I hope you're well. It's time for the most comprehensive heirloom comparison video on the internet. I'm going to showcase everything about these heirlooms, all of their unique animations and everything else that comes with them so that you can decide which one's your favorite, and if you get heirloom shards, you can decide which one to get, because there's more to an heirloom than just the design itself. In fact, most heirlooms have an initial draw animation when you first land, a ton of unique draw animations after that, unique inspect animations, unique melee animations, unique voice lines when you kill other players with the heirloom, super secret rare animations and features, third person animations, and unique effects when you hit people. Now, not all heirlooms are the same. For example, here's a quick look at WRAITH's heirloom stats. You can see it's not looking quite as good when we compare it to, say, Gibraltar's. It seems over time more animations are added as each heirloom is added to the game. So let's go through all these animations from the very beginning of Apex all of the way up to Season 7 with Gibraltar's latest edition, covering absolutely everything. I'll start with the latest heirloom, Gibraltar's War Club, and then we'll make our way all of the way back to the very beginning of the game. Now, along the way, you'll get to see each heirloom and kind of make a decision on which one you like, because each heirloom is unique and has unique features. One may not have as many animations, but it may have some more interesting things about it that make it more suitable for what you personally like. So first up is Gibraltar's Heirloom. As with all heirlooms, you get one initial draw animation, which looks pretty cool. There are also 12 unique draw animations besides that. There are two rare ones, the rarest of which is this motorbike animation, which I have failed to get myself. Sometimes it looks like it's about to play, but it's actually like a different animation. It's really quite strange. There are also 4 unique animations that play when you inspect Gibraltar's Heirloom. There is the shield animation where he takes a look at his shield. This is like the first time you can really get a look at all the different legendary shield skins in the game, which is really cool. You also get the haka one. I think it's pronounced like that. I think I pronounced it wrong before. I'm very sorry for that. You also get this sort of threatening one as well. This is really where you get to see the effect of the heirloom in action. And then we have the sort of default animation where you get a good look at the club. Now, the story behind this heirloom is that this was given to Gibraltar by his ex-boyfriend, Dr. Nick, I believe that's his name. So that's what the carving is on the bottom. There's also a unique melee hit effect, this fire effect. You get a fire effect when you hit people with this heirloom. It looks really cool. I like this fire effect. In fact, this is a very unique animation because not only does it glow in the dark, it actually illuminates everything in the area as if you're holding a torch, and even illuminates Gibby himself, which is really cool. There aren't any unique third-person animations, but that's okay. There are a few legends that kind of share the same animations, including Bloodhound and Caustic, which we'll get to in a minute, of course. For the melee animations themselves in first person, there are 13 unique melee animations, which is pretty exciting. Some of these are just different animations for each stance, and then we've got some more unique ones, and this also includes the rarest animation. You can get this when sprinting. You have to sprint whilst doing this. It's very rare, and you get 2 clubs, and the second club is the one that we get to see in all of the banners that a lot of people kind of hoped would be Gibraltar's Heirloom. Now that you've seen this one though, the sort of high-tech fire version, which one do you prefer? Personally, I like the high-tech fire version. I think it looks a lot cooler, it's a lot more flashy, and heirlooms are kind of meant to be that way in my personal opinion. You also get an inspect animation whilst you sprint. If you have sprint held down and then press the inspect button, on Gibraltar's Heirloom you get this. I don't really feel like it's that smooth and you don't get to see it that clearly, but you know, it's alright. To me, the inspect while sprinting animation is the most important, because that's the thing you're going to be doing the most. You're going to be running around and doing this. You're not really going to be doing the inspect animation in the middle of a battle, but the inspect while sprinting is going to happen a lot, so it's alright. Now let's play the heirloom voice kill lines. These happen when you kill a player with the heirloom. You don't have to knock them, you just have to kill a down player with the heirloom.
Boom! Not too bad with this thing. Down you go. I make my brothers proud. Oh, I love this thing.
So overall, I would rank Gibraltar's Heirloom to be pretty high. There's some really good melee animations, there's a couple of secrets, some good inspect animations. Overall, there's a ton of features in this heirloom. So a really great heirloom in my opinion. Next up we have Caustic's Heirloom, which was introduced in Season 6. Now there's one initial draw animation, it's okay, it's not too flashy. Then we have 7 unique draw animations. There are some different ones, they're pretty basic, nothing too exciting. And then we have 5 inspect animations, one of which is this little spider pops up, and it's definitely a bit of a jump scare. It definitely made me jump when I first saw it. And the rarest one is where the skull kind of flashes up. Some of them are quite similar, you'll get a few where he kind of looks at the skull for sure. But overall, they're okay, they're not the best. It's not super complex, but it's nice to know that there's sort of like a wide collection of animations instead of one really long one. What would you prefer? A multiple short animations or one really long animation? I think I like the multiple short ones, to be honest. Besides that, there are also 9 unique melee animations. It feels so satisfying to hit somebody with this, and it's made even more satisfying with the unique melee hit effect, which is just a cloud of gas, which is just perfectly fit for Caustic. There aren't any unique third-person animations. Caustic shares them with Gibraltar and Bloodhound. And I actually like the animation whilst you're sprinting with Caustic's hammer. It's very big, so it's going to be hard to kind of swing it around while sprinting. So instead, they just make this little thing here spin around really fast, and you can keep spamming it, and it goes faster and faster. It's pretty fun to do, quite satisfying, I have to admit.
Any thrill I may appear to have is purely scientific. Note to self, extrapolate damage output data. Need subjects. Living. Even I have to admit that one was just for fun. I'm beginning to enjoy this.
So now it's time for Mirage's Heirloom. This is perhaps the biggest heirloom in terms of features and hidden content. This heirloom is kind of crazy how much detail has gone into it. The heirloom itself, a lot of people don't really like the design. I mean, it's just a golden statue and you go around hitting people with that, and some people find that a bit strange, but it is just totally Mirage. It suits them really well. So as always, there's one unique initial draw animation, and then besides that you have 7 different draw animations. They're all pretty interesting. Some he has different voice lines that he says, and overall I really do quite like this. I like the way that Mirage's Heirloom has kind of put more emphasis on him as a character, put more voice lines in it, and that does bring me to the next thing, the inspect animation. There are actually only 2 inspect animations, but each time you do it you'll get a different voice line, and there are a bunch of different voice lines that play. Mirage is just cracking a bunch of jokes as always, you know, bigging himself up and just being that Mirage kind of way, you know.
Oh, isn't this thing just the cutest? Reminds me of me.
It's funny, if you like Mirage, you're gonna like these. If you don't like Mirage and you're sick of hearing him, then you probably don't really play Mirage that much anyway, and you're probably not going to want to get this heirloom. There's a very satisfying unique melee hit sound, not a unique hit effect. There's no special effects or anything. It's a very unique hit sound, and also the statue itself plays little voice lines when you hit people with it, which is absolutely hilarious. There are a bunch of unique melee animations too, one of which is quite rare. You get the double eye poke animation. You get that maybe every 50 or so hits, I'd say, and then you have the ultra rare secret pork chop animation. I've spent hours hitting this thing in the firing range and I've never gotten it. It is really, really, really rare. So if you get this one, consider yourself pretty lucky. If you have any good high quality footage of the pork chop animation, do let me know. Now I really like the third person animations for this. They look really cool, and there's a secret feature here. Mirage's goggles are actually down. When you have the heirloom, Mirage has his goggles down. If you don't have the heirloom, they're always up. The only other time that they're down is when he jumps out of the ship. So this is a really cool feature that's just like, it just adds to the sort of character that you play as. You will have that skin looking even cooler with the goggles down. It's a really, really nice touch. As always, there's some unique heirloom kill voice lines, so I'll play those now.
Woo! Oh man, that was amazing. I think I'm hyperbole. I think I'm hypervent. I've had a really good time here. Oh yeah, my biggest fan's gonna love that. Mom. Guns? Who needs guns? I don't need guns. Oh, sorry. Looks like I didn't know my own strength. Sorry.
For the sprinting animation, it's actually pretty cool. He spins it around and sometimes it sort of flashes with the same colors you get when you do the inspect animations. I like this inspect animation while sprinting. Overall, Mirage's Heirloom is really great. The design itself, some people may not like. Some people like weapons, but the overall detail to voice lines, effects, secret features, and other things is really, really great. Now it's time for Octane's Heirloom all the way back from Season 4. Now this Heirloom, it looks flashy on the outside, and it kind of is, but at the same time it lacks some of that extra functionality that a lot of the newer Heirlooms have. There's only one initial draw animation, which is pretty basic, and there's only one draw animation as well. And there's only one inspect animation too. Now don't get me wrong, this inspect animation is really, really cool, but there is only one inspect animation, and that is kind of a shame. There is also one melee animation for each stance. There aren't any unique melee animations besides that, and there's no unique melee hit effect. There is a knife sound that plays, but there's no effect. Most of the others have some kind of effect, so this is a bit of a shame. There are some unique third-person animations, but they're pretty similar to the Bloodhound and Caustic ones. And the inspect animation while sprinting is kind of weird. He just moves his arm up and down, and I feel like they tried to make sort of like a transition animation and it just went really badly, and that's kind of a shame. However, if you stop moving, you do get this kind of cool animation, but for some reason that doesn't play whilst you're sprinting. A bit strange. It still feels a bit buggy. It actually got patched a little after it released because it was a bit buggy, but it still feels a little rough around the edges. Finally, there are the unique Heirloom kill voice lines. I'll play those now.
They thought they could get the jump on me? Whoa, how many likes will that get? Increíble. Piernas, tienes mi corazón. Incredible. Amo estas piernas.
So overall, Octane's Heirloom's okay. I like the animation, the long one, that's really cool, and I like the design itself, but the other animations whilst actually using it in game are a little bit clunky in my opinion. Now we're going back to Season 3. Now you may notice this looks a little different to the other pictures, and we'll talk about that. So there's no draw animations, you just pull it up. Like there's no unique cool animation, which is kind of a bit of a shame. There is one inspect animation, and like Octane's, it is very long and looks really cool. But you're probably going to inspect that like a few times and then that's it, you know? You're not going to be doing that in the middle of a fight. You're not going to have that satisfying feeling of like flipping it around like you do with Wraith's Kunai, and that's why Wraith's Kunai is probably one of the best and most liked heirlooms in the game, despite having like no real animations besides that. There's also no unique melee hit effect. There is a unique melee hit sound, but no effect, so that's a bit of a shame. And when you sprint, there's no animation that plays at all. As you start sprinting, the face actually changes to a cute little heart face, so that's kind of cool, but no animation there, so it just feels a bit static and bulky and in the way. However, there are a ton of unique melee animations, some rarer than others. I'll go through them all on screen now, as much as I can show you. It's kind of hard to get them all, but I did confirm in game there are 21 unique melee animations for all of the different stances, whether you're idle, whether you're sprinting, whether you're in the air, whether you're moving, crouching, sliding, all of these things have different melee animations. The idle animation has 7 different variants, so pretty cool. If you're going to go around punching a lot of people, then this heirloom is probably going to be something you like. If you don't go punching a lot of people, this heirloom is just going to kind of feel like dead weight, and you know, that's my personal opinion, but that's how it feels. Now let's play the Pathfinder kill voice lines.
You're a bum, friend. Oh boy, right in the eye of the tiger. I could have been a contender, and I am. Do you like my new toys?
So next we have Lifeline's Heirloom. Now this one is quite good. I actually like it a lot. I think it came out in Season 3 as well. There's one initial draw animation. It looks really, really cool. And then you also have one draw animation, but it has 3 unique draw sounds that are slightly different. So it's kind of like the same thing really. There's one inspect animation, and this is a really long one that looks really cool as well. And then just one melee animation for each stance. But the melee hit effect and sound sounds so cool. Like this heirloom to me, whilst it has some pretty basic animations outside of the one draw animation. Everything about it is just so clean, so satisfying to use, and that's why it's one of my personal favorites. It's just satisfying to use. It's always there, it's always going to be like on your mind, it's always going to be making cool sounds, you're always going to be able to flip it around whilst playing. Because that does take me to the inspect while sprinting animation, which is just really cool. The way she flips it around is just awesome. There's also some really cool unique third person animations. When she jumps in the air and hits her shock sticks like that, it's just absolutely hilarious. So one of the best heirlooms in the game in my opinion. Now let's play the heirloom kill voice lines.
You got flatlined. Now you're out of my way. So sorry. You're out of lifelines. This way's faster. Feel that rhythm drop. Kill the beat.
We're now all the way back into Season 2. Now, this is just the second heirloom they ever released. The first that was in a collection event. And it's okay. The design of it's really cool. It has some unique features, but perhaps not the most flashy or amazing. So let's talk about it. There's one initial draw animation which is pretty basic. Once you're in the game, there's only one other draw animation. There's one inspect animation that is very basic too, but you do get a good look at it. There's one melee animation for each stance. So it's pretty basic so far. But we do have some really cool unique melee hit effects. And when you're sprinting, the animation is actually really cool as well. So overall, very basic, but very clean, a very nice design. So overall, I'd rate this pretty highly. It's not the best heirloom, but it's decent. It could be a lot better though. There aren't any unique third-person animations for this as well. Bloodhound shares the same animations as Caustic and Gibraltar. So, I don't know, you can weigh your opinions on this one. It's kind of lower on the list, but not the worst. So let's now play the heirloom kill voice lines.
I grace the Allfather. Odin bear witness. Valhalla awaits us both. Hrafn's bitter, bring me glory. Raven's bite, bring me glory.
Finally, we have WRAITH's Heirloom, the one that launched with the game, and kind of like the only one that you couldn't get from a collection event. But actually, when it comes down to it, it's pretty basic. It has an initial draw animation that's pretty cool actually. One draw animation, one inspect animation that is very simple. You do get a nice look at the blade, but it's very simple. And one melee animation for each stance. There is a very cool melee hit effect, and that looks really cool to be honest. And the third person animations are unique and match up to the animations she's doing in first person, which is a nice little bit of detail for once they actually match up. But to me, it's the fact that when you're sprinting, the animation on this thing is so smooth. It just flips around like perfectly. It's really satisfying, and if you've got this heirloom, you know what I mean when you say that it just feels so satisfying to use this heirloom. No other heirloom quite feels as smooth and fluid as this one. So yes, it has very simple animations, but it's one of the best because it's simple yet fluid and satisfying to use. So that's it. Now let's play the heirloom voice kill lines.
I play the hand I'm dealt. All you need is all you have. That one's for you. Freedom's what you take. That's a clean cut. Swift, strong, simple.
So there we go. I've showcased and compared every single heirloom in the game. Question is, which one are you going to get? And also let me know which heirloom you'd like to see next in game. I guess over time they're going to eventually have pretty much every legend having an heirloom, so that's pretty exciting. Thank you so much for watching everyone. See you in the comments. Cheerio.